Side 2 of assignment number 1. Some more factoring here. We see 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. When we replace x with negative 2 in the numerator, we get 0. When we replace x with 2 in the denominator, we also get an answer of 0. So we're looking to simplify this. All right, now, my hint here is that because I have the limit as x approaching negative 2, that negative 2 is causing the zeros. So I know that my numerator and denominator are both going to have a factor of x plus 2. Because when I plug negative 2 in here, I get 0. And hence the reason for the 0 in the numerator and the 0 in the denominator. So I'm taking the limit as x approaches negative 2, and now I've got to finish factoring. Now in the denominator, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 14 and add up to negative 5. Well, that's going to be positive 2 and negative 7. Hence the reason why the x plus 2 is going to be there. In the numerator, well, I've got master product, I've got the Australian method, I've got the quadratic formula. There's a bunch of different ways we can look at this. I think the easiest way to look at this is I need to FOIL these two binomials. The first result must be 2x squared. X times what is 2x squared? That's right, 2x. Now if I go to last, this times my unknown must equal 2. 2 times what equals 2? Exactly. 1. So now those go away, and I have negative 2 times 2, or negative 4 plus 1, over negative 2 minus 7. So negative 3 over negative 9, which is the same thing as 1/3. With number 12, if I plug in a for x, I get 0 right here. I get a plus 4 right there. 0 times anything is 0. If I plug in a down here, I get a plus 1. Here I get 0. 0 times anything is 0. Now this one's already been factored out for us, so there's no factoring to do. We just need to simplify. So those go to 1. And now when I replace x with a, my numerator is a plus 4. My denominator is a plus 1. Now it's a weird looking answer because it's got a value in there, some kind of constant a that we don't know what the value of that is, but it's still a correct limit. 13 is the same thing, except it's requiring you to do some factorization. When I plug n in the numerator, I get 0. When I plug n in the denominator, I also get 0. So let's factor. This is the difference of two squares. So I've got x minus n and x plus n. Right. Down here, both of these two terms have a 3. Let's factor that out. That gives me the two x minus n's that I'm looking to eliminate. Now when I replace x with n, I have n plus n, or 2n in the numerator. The denominator only has a 3. That's my final answer. And finally, last but not least with these problems, number 14, if we replace x with 2, we get 1 minus 1, or 0 in the numerator. We get 0 in the denominator. So we have to factor this again. In fact, we don't really have to factor as much as we have to simplify. This is x minus 1 squared, which is x minus 1 times itself. So what we really have here, by FOILing this out, is x squared minus 2x plus 1. Minus 1. Don't forget that part. All over x minus 2. Well, what happens with these 1's right here? Yeah, they're gone. That leaves us with x squared minus 2x in the numerator. So the limit of that. But x squared minus 2x, I can factor an x out of that. X squared minus 2x is the same thing as x times the quantity x minus 2. My denominator is also x minus 2, which means they eliminate each other. Now when I plug 2 in for x, I get my final answer of 2. Alright, 15 and 16 we can whip through rather quickly. 15a, the limit as x approaches 4 of g of x plus 3. Well, limit as x approaches 4 of g is 3, so this is just 3 plus 3, or 6. Part B, the limit as x approaches 4 of x times f of x. Well, we plug in 4 for x, so we have 4, and then we take the limit as x approaches 4 of f of x, which is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. C, we know the limit as x approaches 4 of g of x is 3, so this is just 3 squared. And then over here, g, again, the limit as x approaches 4 is equal to 3. Denominator f we know is 0, so we have 0 minus 1, negative 3. Doing some more of the same down with number 16, this time the limit as x approaches b of f is 7, and for g it's negative 3. So if I add them together, this is just going to be negative 3 plus 7, or 4. This is going to be 7 times negative 3, or negative 21. 4 times g means this is going to be negative 12, and f is 7, it's in the numerator, g is negative 3, it's in the denominator. There's my fraction for 16D.